Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live, real talk about obesity, food addiction, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Carrie De La Cruz and today's show is officially Q&A. And you know what that means? It's your input, my output. Now, I got to tell you guys, you are remarkable. When I ask, you give. It's amazing. And of course, some of the stuff that you're asking me to answer doesn't fit this particular format of a show, you know, a Q&A back and forth kind of thing. Because they're such great questions, I think they deserve more attention. They deserve longer than like 5 minutes or something like that for an answer. So I am collecting them. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting about them, but I am collecting them so that I can do justice to them for you guys. All right. So today I have chosen a couple of questions. One I pulled from last week when I was asked to answer it, and the other is a question from today. You guys are really challenging me. Oh my gosh. You're not making it easy on me. And I think that's really good because the reality is life in recovery from obesity, food addiction, whatever, for life, not easy. Right? So why would your questions be easy? Alrighty, I'm going to put my glasses on because I want to make sure that I stick to the timing here and don't go running off the road all over the place and really answer the questions the way they need to be addressed. So I actually kind of answered them in advance of the show, and I'm going to get right to it. The first question is from Cynthia Tripp Andrews, and she said, how do we stay away from negative self-talk during times like a stall? And I said, you stay away by staying away. I know that sounds like way too simplistic, all right? But I want you to follow this logic for just a minute, because I think oftentimes we have these emotional questions and we forget to apply logic. If you don't want to fall off a cliff, you stay away from the edge of the cliff. It doesn't mean you necessarily stop climbing mountains, but you stay away from the edge. If you don't want to get eaten by sharks, Mom, you stay out of the ocean where there are sharks, right? If you don't want to get burned, you stay away from the flame. If you need to use that fire, you learn to respect the fire. And you are aware of the fact that you can get burned, right? So that is sort of the logical way of looking at you stay away from things that you don't want to have happen. You manage the circumstances where you can manage them. And I think what we're talking about here is manageable. All right. Negative self-talk is a pattern. I think you guys agree about that. And we are so good at it, we don't even have to form complete sentences to fill in the blanks and know exactly what we mean. And I want you to think about it, right? You're fat, you're ugly, you never win. Why try? You blew it, you're worthless. What made you think you were worth anything in the first place? Right? I mean, it just comes. We don't even really have to put much attention to it anymore. And so I really think that if you want to change your negative self-talk, which is automatic, you have to be onto you. You have to be aware that you're actually thinking it. All right? So how do we do that? Well, I think you have to think about what you're thinking about. Okay, again, with that weird logic, think about what you're thinking about. And the way that you do that is you start with familiar situations. We all know when the self-talk comes out, right? You work with me here, right? You stand in front of the mirror, negative self-talk, right? I wrote down a couple of other, when you're standing in front of the mirror at a restaurant, negative self-talk, looking at the buffet, the dessert menu, right? At a party, when you're around other people, when you put on a bathing suit. Do you agree with me? Negative self-talk comes right out, right? Okay, so you start there. And you talk to yourself and you say, okay, me. I usually tear myself apart when I am looking at myself in a mirror, but I'm not going to allow that today. So you know what? The reality is I may not have the body that I wish I did. Okay, that's true. I'm not a supermodel. I got shrinkles, you know, and I'm not sitting here telling you that you're going to have to fall in love with your shrinkles. If you can do it, great. I'm not one of those people that falls in love with my shrinkles. Let's see. I focus on the things I don't like, right? And I see them, and I see the shrinkles, and then I go, wait a minute. Do those shrinkles make me worthless? What, do those shrinkles have anything to do with my value as a person? Maybe not. Am I a valuable person? Am I a good friend? Am I a good mate? Am I a good mom? Am I a good employee? Do those shrinkles keep me from being that person? If they do, you might want to look at your, reevaluate your perspective just a little bit. All right. So in other words, we're going to look at some reality here. I'm not talking about positivity. I'm not talking about putting a happy face with a Sharpie marker on your little Sharpay, on your body and going, yay, me. Okay. It doesn't work that way. I get it. It sucks. Why? Because it's a reminder. It's a reminder of who we, where we came from, what happened, what we did to ourselves. That's usually what we do with it, right? Negative self-talk. Oh, I did that to myself, and this is just what I'm left with, and this is my punishment. That's what we do, all right? So we have to separate the negative self-talk by putting in a little bit of reality and saying those shrinkles do not determine my value as a person, all right? I got off script. All right. What can I do to improve myself today? Okay, so this is a takeoff from yesterday. Oh man, why do I have these shrinkles? That doesn't go anywhere. It's the what can I do today to not focus on my body and instead focus on me as a person. What can I do to improve myself as a person? Yeah, shrinkles suck. Sorry, they just do. I get it. Some of us have worse shrinkles than others. I can't tell you that you're not going to feel bad about that. And that it's not going to suck sometimes. The point is, don't let it suck you in and ruin your whole day and live in the shrinkles. Because last time I checked, we wear clothes in public. How many people, know that I have a saggy butt? Okay, now a lot of you do because I just told you, but you don't see that in my clothes. It doesn't show, right? And I have to decide that I am more than a saggy butt. I don't show you guys my butt on camera, right? You see my face here. You hear me talking. I am more than my saggy butt. So I suggest that you guys, I made a good note here. Let's see. If you're trying to convince yourself you're nothing but a saggy butt, stop talking out of it. Stop talking out of your saggy butt, right? And change the conversation, right? So that is kind of the first part that we're talking about. We're talking about that we have a pattern of negative self-talk. We talked about staying away from things that we know are a problem, right? Now, the stall thing. And I love that you guys are giving me this feedback, by the way, the hearts and the happy faces and all that. I'm really happy about that. I need to know that you guys are listening, that I'm connecting. And you know what? That really helps the show as well. That helps when you guys are responding, when you're reacting and you're engaged, it actually allows more people to see it because it looks worthwhile if people are actually engaged. You guys aren't just knitting socks by the fire. You're actually engaged and listening to me. So thank you so much. All right. So the stall thing, I think that is a lousy, lousy word. And I'm going to tell you why. When I was learning to drive a stick, anybody know how to drive a stick shift car out there? When you're learning to drive a stick, the one thing you fear is stalling out. Oh my God, what if I stall? And so you learn to be afraid of hills and turns and stopping and starting, and you focus on what? The stall. And when you are afraid that you're going to stall, you stall every single time. It's just what happens because you're focused on the stall instead of, you're focused on stopping rather than going, right? All right, so the best cure for a stall is to get going again. In the case of a car, you restart the car. You know what to do. You turn the key to restart the car. If you're in a stall with your diet, you turn the key in the ignition. You restart what it is that you might have stopped doing to bring about the stall. Not always. Don't hear what I'm not saying here, all right? So a stall does not have to be the end game, right? If we look at stalls, which I think is really just our definition of some, what do you call it, a state of being, instead of looking at it as, balancing or acclimatizing or adjusting, we look at it as a bad thing. So I think we got to change the way we look at the words that we use, the words that we latch onto, all right? What if it is like acclimatizing or acclimating? You know, like if you're going to climb Mount Everest, you don't just climb it in a straight shot. You have to stop at base camps all the way up this massive mountain so that you can become adjusted to thinner air, higher altitude. Guess what? It's the same with losing a lot of weight. You acclimatize. Your body has to get used to functioning on fewer calories, using different energy sources than it's probably, you know what? If you lived on Oreo cookies and you start putting chicken in, your body's going to freak out. At some point, it's going to go, whoa, chicken? What the heck is this? Okay. Acclimatizing at base camp. All right. So that you can continue the journey. So if I look at a quote stall as acclimatizing, and then I go back and reevaluate and say, am I ready to ascend? Am I ready to continue climbing? Have I, packed enough food and gear, and am I drinking enough water and all that for the next phase of my journey? Do I need to reevaluate what I'm doing? All right, that matters. Are you doing what you need to do to lose weight? Sometimes it's just a matter of, I kind of stopped doing what I needed to do and went on autopilot. All right. Maybe it's just your body's way of saying, whoa, I think I need a breather here. I need to get used to less air, higher altitude, whatever it is. All right. So the short answer, I put this in like bullet points here. The short answer to staying away from negative self-talk. 1, stay away from it. Be aware of it. Okay. That's how you do it. Be aware of it and then don't do it. 2, when it happens, not if, but when it happens, correct it with reality. I didn't say positivity. I didn't say put a little happy face on it. I said correct it with reality and perspective. What matters most here? Does my saggy butt get in the way of my being a good person? If it does, then I have bigger problems. All right. Number 3, change the conversation. And you do that by using different words, looking at how you are defining the words that you are using. Okay, refocusing the conversation. Sometimes words are just negative because you say they're negative. Really? Because you think they're negative, they're negative. Well, what happens if you look at them differently? Maybe they're not so negative after all. So this is a process, takes effort. Not going to happen overnight. Absolutely not. And you got to talk out loud. I suggest that highly. I talk out loud. I know, not just here, but like to myself. I'll talk to myself because like if I hear it out loud, it's almost like someone else is talking to me. There are times when I go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Comes back, let it go. Whatever. No, the whatever doesn't feel good here. No, it does. It is something, but it's not. Okay, let it go. Talk out loud. All right. So that's the very long answer to how do I stay away from the negative self-talk, especially when I'm in a stall. So I hope that answer did you some justice there, my friend, Cynthia Tripp. All right, now, Melissa, she asked me this. She is the giver of a really thought-provoking questions. All right, so I'm going to answer one that she gave me last week. And she said, how do you deal with people who won't take no for an answer, like food pushers? Got it? And here's my answer. First of all, I think if I give an answer, it is not my concern whether or not someone else takes it. I give an answer, it is not my concern if they take it. So I want you to listen to the use of those words. So in other words, if my given answer is no, why would I sit around and wait for someone to accept that? If that is indeed my answer, I don't have to wait for someone to accept it. Could it be that you're hoping someone will talk you out of it? That's a whole nother story. If no really is your answer, don't wait for someone to take it or accept it. It is what it is. That's number 1. All right. Now let's talk about the food pushers. The food pushers. Now, the definition of that is the people that want you to eat. Oh, come on, just have a little bit. Oh, come on, it's really good. Oh, come on, I made it just for you. Oh, come on, you haven't had any of this in a long time. I love you so much. I want those people. Got it? Right? And you're going, no, 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 no. Okay. Right? That's where that ends up. Okay. let's see. To go back to the whole, I give an answer, why do I have to wait for someone to take it? Why? These are the people who insist that you should take what they're giving. Is that correct? They're insisting that you take what they're giving. Think about that for a minute. All right. Do you have to automatically take what someone else gives? That's a question only you can answer. Just because someone offers it, do you automatically have to take it or feel pressured to take it or feel compelled to accept it? Do you have to? Something only you can answer, all right? But that seems to be the heart of this question. It really, really does. So is it true that we want acceptance, agreement, validation for our choices? Is that what we're looking for here? Please, please value what I'm saying when I say no. Please accept my no. Please tell me it's okay. Tell me my no is okay. That could be behind this difficulty with saying no to food pushers, because we want them to tell us, okay, boy, I really respect what you're doing there. I hear you loud and clear. Absolutely. We want someone to approve of our making the hard choices, don't we? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't happen for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to list a few that I came up with. Why do people give food in the first place? Well, quite simply, I think it's a way to show love, right? We often associate food with love. Think about our moms, right? They love us. It's a way to nurture. It's a way to affirm that you value the person you're offering the food to. And I'm going to talk about this. It's a way to control the situation. So those are some reasons that people offer food. Those are some reasons maybe you offer food to other people. Why do people insist on giving you food after you've declined? Okay. Well, we have to go back to the answers above. Because they think they're showing you love. They are wanting to nurture you. They want you to affirm their value as a person. And yeah, maybe they want to control the situation, right? You'll eat what I made for you. That comes from when we're kids, right? We're at the dinner table. You're going to eat everything on your plate? All right. So I think that feeding someone food is a lot like feeding their spirit. And I think sometimes we feel like when we make a connection with someone on a really deep level, you know, it's when they're eating our food. Let me back that up. We feel like we make a connection with someone on a deep level when they eat what we offer. It affirms that they are worthy on the face. See what I offered for you? I made this for you. But then it also proves that what? I'm a good cook. If you eat what I gave you, see, I'm a good cook. That affirms me as a person. You like what I made. You like me. So do you see that connection? So when someone's offering that, they're offering you a part of themselves, and they're really wanting you to say they're a good person. And they're using food to make that connection. I mean, it just makes sense, right? Love. Food is the ultimate show of love, right? I mean, from the time we're born and our mom is nurturing us and our mom is feeding us, and it's very intimate. Food, it's a show, I love you this much. I'm giving you a part of me. All right? That connection with your mom. All right. And most of the time, we've got to be honest. Food is a woman thing. It just work with me here when I talk about this. The love connection with food, it's a woman thing. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say most guys do not push food the way that women do. So, for example, if a guy says, hey, you want chips and dip? You go, no. He's like, cool, more for me. He doesn't say, come on, just have them. You're like, cool, more for me, right? All right, let's say, do they push you to eat their special chili? No, they're like, want some chili? No, cool. I'll have leftovers for tomorrow. Whatever. That's what guys do, by and large. Not all guys, I understand. Some guys equate food with love. I get it. But by and large, they're not food pushers. They're like, cool, whatever. But here's what a woman's going to say. Have some of my special chili. I spent all day yesterday chopping and simmering and assembling. It's a magical concoction. I love it. And it's slow cooked for 24 hours. My chili is the best. Have some. What do you mean you don't want any? What, don't you like my chili? What's wrong with my chili? You used to love my chili. You don't. What changed? See what women do with that? It's all about me. It's all about me. Oh my God, it must be my chili. You don't like my chili. The only reason you could possibly not be eating my chili is because there's something wrong with it. And if there's something wrong with my chili, there's something wrong with me. Push, push, push. Right? All right. Here's the thing. It's not about you. We have to separate the two things, right? It's not about you or your chili, Mom. It really isn't. All right. So it's really just about my saying no, thank you. But here's the thing. We have to find other ways to affirm the food pushers if we have that kind of a relationship with them. Affirm them that they are more to you. They mean more to you than just their chili. Okay. All right. I think we often come up, excuse me, against a battle of the wills and the won'ts. Now, I wrote this, so I got to read it. It often comes down to a battle of the wills and the won'ts. I won't have any. Oh, yes, you will. I won't be eating that today. You will too. I will have something else. No, you won't. Wills and won'ts, right? It's a battle. It's a battle. If we engage in a battle, it's a battle. If you have a history of eating the food that this person offers to you and you suddenly stop, they don't know what to do. It catches them off guard. And so they make it about them. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with us? It's just chili. Okay? But if that was the intimate connection, the nurturing, the loving connection, and you all of a sudden aren't eating any, then all of a sudden you are breaking the connection of love and nurturing. They don't realize it, but that is how they feel. All right. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. But if we apologize and say, I'm sorry, I can't have any, then maybe we're really saying we want it. And we feel really bad that we can't have it. And guess what? That gives the pusher a chance to weaken your defenses. Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing? Are you excusing their chili? No. Here's what you do. You say, no, thank you. It is nice of you to offer. You could go on. I have always really enjoyed your chili and I love the fact that you're offering it to me. Hey, I'd like some of your X healthy food option, right? Oh my gosh, I love you for offering that to me. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to pass on that today. You don't apologize unless you're really sorry that you can't eat it. And then where are you going to go? You're going to go to that place of pity, and eventually that no is going to be a yes. If there is not a healthy option available, that kind of backs up the truck and you go, maybe you discussed this beforehand. And you say, hey, Mom, I know you're making your chili, and I was wondering, would you mind having this available for me? I would absolutely love it. I love it when you make that for me. Whatever it is, all right? Talk about something else. This takes practice. It may not happen the first time, the second time, the third time. It's going to take time to change their feelings, your relationship, because you guys had a relationship through food. And you suddenly change the rules of the relationship, all right? I do understand the connection between food and love. I can't speak, but I understand the connection. And I do understand how people can feel rejected when you say no. And that is why you need to reinforce a healthy relationship apart from the food, right? Healthy relationships. All right. And this is interesting because Diana asked me about this earlier today. I'm going to answer this question maybe next time, but I think the bottom line is most people do not understand what you're going through. And it's up to you to set the tone, not to change their minds, but to set the tone, because I want, are you going to encourage sympathy or pity? Is that what you really want? I think that a lot of us have the diet mentality. We know how it feels when we're on a diet and, we don't get to have something. And let's see. Lost my train of thought here. Yes. When you're on a diet, what are the words that come up? Suffering, denying, depriving. They know what diets feel like. They don't want that for you. They don't want to deprive you of their love. They don't want to deny their love. They don't want you to suffer. They want to save you from it. See? So it's really up to us to set the tone. So in other words, I don't think most people mean any harm. They just really don't. It's just what they know, and you need to set the tone, and you need to change it, and you need to affirm the best in them. Okay? All right. that is the answer to that question. And I'm going to tell you this. Melissa, troublemaker. I'm telling you, Melissa, what a troublemaker. I feel like I'm being interviewed for Match.com. I'm just going to put that out there right now. She gave me a long list of questions that she would like me to answer, and I'm going to dedicate a program to it. And here are the questions. What is your story? Were you always heavy? What were some reasons for gaining weight? What was your aha moment that made you decide to lose weight and have surgery? What are some keys to your success for keeping the weight off? What is one thing you want to provide people with your Lunch Break Live program? What does it mean to say that you've succeeded? Do I have any bucket list items? So I am going to do my best to address that, and also the question about transfer addiction on a future broadcast. And let's see. Oh my gosh, look at the time. I knew it was going to be long. So I will breeze through your questions right now. And this was a slightly different format because those were very involved questions. I did not have the chance to go into and answer your questions here unless you guys want to hang around, because, you know, we're 25 minutes in now. And I don't want to wear y'all out. So let me look down here without humming, without singing. Wow, you guys have been really, really, really busy. Amazing. All righty then. Oops, let me straighten out my camera here. Look at me. All right. Not singing. Oh, chosen a great lip color. Wendy, I don't know if you're still here. I didn't put it on right. I have to work on it. But anyway, yes, this would be my new lip gloss from Wendy. We'll talk about it later. I love it so far. All right, a little sticky, but we'll talk later. No, I'm kidding. It's really not. That's all about me. Are my teeth clean? Okay, I'm kidding. All right, Eric, glad you're here. And my mama and Marie, thank you for being here. And Brandy, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, wait a minute. I am like breaking my own rule and talking, you know, calling people out. This is going to be a hard habit to break, guys. I am working on it, I promise. Please talk to me, Brandy. Please tell me it was okay that I outed you. All right, that's the inside of my head, lie after lie with the negative self-talk, Marie says. Absolutely. We are very, very good at it. We're professionals, which is I always say you got to be on to you. You just got to be on to you. You have got to say, whoa, I am lying to myself and believing my own lies. Enough of that. You know, you just got to be on to you. That's what it's all about. All right. Marcus, glad you are here. Yes, Marcus asked an excellent question as well that I'm going to address. And he said, how can I stop caring about what other people think? Like, you know, in other words, it's like if I'm doing something and I'm so hung up on their opinion or their thought, how do I stop caring about that? So that's going to be a topic for another day, because I think it's a really, really good one and not an easy answer. What can I do today makes sense? Absolutely, Trip, absolutely. When we're talking about correcting the negative self-talk, we claim perspective and we look at it and say, what can I do today that will add value to myself and my recovery, right? Treating my addiction, all of that good stuff. What can I do that adds value? Let's see. I'm more than my saggy butt. Amen, sister. Amen. Let's see. It's the loose skin on your face that gives you the negative self-talk. Well, time to talk back. You know what? Talk back to the smack, babe. Just talk back to it. Enough. No more trash talking yourself. All right? Take the trash out, babe. Take the trash out. We are more than, look, I could like get all upset about lots of things with my face, my wrinkles, my this, my that, my small lips, my this, my... Why? I'm not going to focus on it. I'm just not, because I am more than small lips and wrinkly eyes. I just am. I'm funny sometimes, okay? And I have a lot of good hair days. So, I mean, there's a lot to focus on, right? It's all where we put the focus. Nancy, I'm so glad you were able to be here too, because I love it when you're here. I know that often you get to come back and watch the on-demand reviews, and I really love that. I want to encourage you guys to share this program. You guys, we've got to get people watching, because I'm putting a lot of time in and you guys are putting a lot of time in, and I think you're getting a lot out of it. And so if you're getting a lot out of it, I really think other people will get a lot out of it too. But you know, they don't see it. They don't know that I'm here. So whatever you guys can do to share it with other people and invite them in, you know, that really, really helps. So, all right then. I will let it finish and address all of the wonderful stuff that you guys are talking about, and just say thank you again for, you know, Q&A, input, output. they always tend to go longer. And even though I had my little notes there, I, strayed from the notes. So whatever. There's going to be a lot more talk about this. This is not the last time I'm going to be talking about this stuff. Absolutely not, because it is central. It is foundational to our healthy recovery. All right. As I always love to say, obesity, not about the food. Okay. It's about what's eating us. We feed what's eating us unhealthy foods. Okay. That's why I talk about what I talk about. So thank you guys for being here. I am just so grateful for your friendship and your support and your courage and your willingness to share, ask questions fearlessly. I love that, and then process it and give me back what it is that you're hearing out of what I say. I freaking love it. So thank you guys so much. I will sign off now. Remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, joyfully, I see those little hearts flying by, joyfully live your recovery. Remember, you cannot stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.